A humid, windless night in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, but it's the site of a very intriguing matchup. Bears men's soccer in their last match before diving into MASCAC play this Friday received their first visit since 2015 from the judges of Brandeis University. First time, I should say, that these two sides have met at all since 2015. Each of them comes into this match 1-1-1. But things have certainly changed in the 8 years since these two squads last matched up. Welcome to the Bears Sports Network on BTV. I'm Matt Donahue.
I'm Zach McMahon.
Both of these two sides are coming in, as I mentioned, in pretty much the same place. Bears, of course, coming off a big win over the weekend on Saturday. They took on Wentworth and won big 5-1. Brandeis, meanwhile, coming off of what was supposed to be a match on Saturday against Vassar. That was canceled. And as such, their last played match so far is a 1-0 loss at WPI last week. They're looking to tune up and get over 500 right now. So in net for the Bears, as usual, the graduate student William Russell, the Sandwich native, a guy who is no stranger at all to Bridgewater State's defense. And on the other side, for the judges, it is the Pennsylvania native, the junior Quentin Rabley, the only keeper who has seen any time at all for the judges so far this year. But in 3 matches, he's allowed 1 goal. That's not so bad.
Yeah, he's really coming into his own so far early in the season.
He's having a special year so far. Last year, didn't even see hardly a fraction of their time. He was in net, for just 90 minutes all of last season, 1 full match for the judges. But this year, he's their go-to guy, and he's proven it. So these two sides will be into some very interesting action in just a moment here. Again, the first meeting in 8 years between Brandeis and BSU men's soccer.
Yeah, and Brandeis is a tough team to beat. They do have a lot of talent on their side, including 3 D1 transfers, including one of these starters, Rui Maor.
Rui Maor came in, I believe. Tobias as well, a big part of this Brandeis side. Sancho Morodo, Tobias, the senior from Acton, played his high school ball in Lexington, but he is so far carrying the lion's share of the scoring for Brandeis, and he's going to be somebody to watch tonight for the Bears. Comes in with a goal and an assist. He actually owns the only assist of the year so far for the judges. Bears get the ball first, and we're underway. Comes first to Matthias. Bridgewater keen to get out of their own end, and O'Toole trying to poke it up ahead to David Nelson, but Nelson loses it. No foul on that play, and the judges will maintain. Dunstan Mace up ahead to you. Dunstan Mace gets it back, rolling up the left side, trying to create some action early. He's putting a cross shot over, and it is right into the hands of Russell. Nick Dunstan Mace, the Maryland native, the senior, thought he was about to post the second assist of the year for the judges, but it came to nothing. Bears rolling the other way, a boot up ahead that missed Halbin. A little bit too tall, and it is kicked decisively back the other way by Dunstan Mace. Header disputed around. This is danger. Russell has to cling on to it. Trying to roll up and create a chance was Rui Maor, the New Jersey native.
Yeah, Russell's already facing some pressure from the tough judges team so far.
Maor, as you mentioned, Zach, one of 3 D1 transfers on this Brandeis side. First touch of the evening for Rabley in goal for the judges. Osselman Chai kicks it off to the side there. Up ahead again to Dunstan Mace. Leaves it for Tobias, excuse me. No, excuse me again. That wasn't a 10. That was an 18. That was Nico Beninda who almost got a touch there. Another Garden Stater. And now here's Tobias. dropping it back a little bit, and Brandeis playing low and slow to start out here in the first couple minutes of the match. Bears trying to interrupt. Good defense by Bolos, trying to cause some havoc, but it is interrupted yet again, and Yu comes away with it for the judges. Yu trying to cash back in, going tumbling was O'Toole, but no foul on the play. Well played by Yu, but the judges can't hang on to it for long. O'Toole was taking a second there. Don't know if he was looking at the sock or what the scoop was. That's up ahead. Nelson's trying to work his way in from the left. He's being dogged by Ethan Woll-Lewis of Maryland. Neither side able to get a ton of momentum, save for Dunstan Mace's near chance in the opening seconds. Up ahead, trying to break quickly for it is Maurer, but he's offside. So some early offensive pressure for Roy Maurer, but that time it ends in a flag. Russell keen to take his time as well. William Russell, one of 3 keepers on this Bridgewater side. They are also as well looking for the keepers of the future in the juniors, Lucas Ekmanis and Daniel Beveridge. But Russell right now, largely at the helm. Here's some fancy footwork, but it's given away back to the judges. That was Maurer waiting for it. Up ahead, Yu, oh, he gets his pocket picked. What a take.
By Bolos.
Garcia was in the mix there. And a toss back to friendly territory by Andres Gonzalez, the Floridian. Eventually out of bounds.
A kick by Rabley.
Rabley forced into some drastic measures. And Bridgewater trying to lay on some early pressure. Yu kicked it out. Thought it was off of Garcia. Our side judge thought otherwise. That's a boot. What the heck? Halbin had a missile aimed there, but a deflection.
Yeah, that was a good setup, but just a deflection.
Up ahead, right in front, but it is well off to the side and no trouble for Rabley. He lets it roll out for a goal kick. Well, Will Halbin now posts the first recorded shot on goal of the night. Gonzalez over now to Godino. Christian Godino, a Bay Stater from Leominster. Osselman Chai brought it over to Tobias, and now it makes its way to Dunstan Mace. Tobias trying to get in there, but it's interrupted. He loses his footing. Halbin picks it off, and it is picked off the other way by Juan Vera, the Floridian, trying to roll up hard. On the left is Beninda. Cross now to Yu. Rolling in is Tobias. He is knocked over, and that's going to be a foul on Halbin. Yeah, right there. He gets in on the feet of Tobias. That's a no-no.
Yeah, it's like he just looks like Halbin just like realized he tripped the player and
a little bit too much momentum. So Tobias, for his trouble, will get a free kick with a chance for a set-piece goal by the judges to start the night.
Now, speaking of penalties, so Brandeis has got 2 yellow cards in each game this year, while the Bears only have 3 total.
That one is well tall, misses everyone and everything, and it'll be a BSU goal kick.
Yeah, it's just way too high on that kick, almost to the uprights.
Tobias, as we mentioned, the owner of the only judges' assist of the year so far. He thought he might make it either assist number 2 or goal number 2. Neither ended up coming to pass. This is dangerous trouble, though. It is deflected off the body of Buccio. Hector Buccio, the northeastern native, happened to be in the way. So a lucky deflection for the Bears for the moment, but they do give up a Brandeis goal. Not a goal kick, excuse me, corner kick.
Yeah. Yeah, he saved the ball from Russell on that block.
Maddox Yu was thinking he had a lot of heat on that. The corner's in. Not quite cleared. Brandeis trying to take it back. That's off the feet of Russell. Goodness gracious me. And that was a big team stop by Bridgewater State and a big personal stop, it sure seems, by Garcia.
Yeah, Russell using his feet to...
Looks like Matias was in on the action as well. A whole lot going on in there.
Yeah, to keep the 0-0 score right now.
Nico Beninda for the judges, credited with that shot attempt. Long ball up ahead. A little too tall to reach anyone, and it will bounce safely to Russell. Trying to set up Nelson. Nelson scored twice on Saturday against Wentworth.
Yeah, one of two players to have multiple goals so far for the Bears this season. Halbin is the other one.
And one of 4 scorers alongside Halbin in that Wentworth match. But this is new territory. Gonzalez up ahead, hits Osselman Chai. Osselman Chai loses his footing, and coming away with it is Halbin, but play is stopped, and that's going to be that's going to be Brandeis possession. It doesn't help that both of these school names start with B. It's a little bit of a confuser. Bolos trying to roll the other way. Breaks the ankles of Osselman Chai, but doesn't get much further than that. Gonzalez over across to Maur. Osselman Chai trying to roll up ahead. Tobias. Side ball, and that is blocked out of the way.
We're seeing some good blocks already on both defensive sides.
That was a big deflection off the foot of Hector Buccio. Again, he has been in an opportune spot twice now for the Bears. This one is rolling in. Looked like it wasn't quite on target anyway. Certainly not to be a shot, let alone to be much of a helpful assist, and it was no trouble for Russell. Just over 35 to play in the first half here at Peter Mazzaferro Field at the Swenson Athletic Complex on the campus of Bridgewater State University in beautiful Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Going up and missing the header is Bolos, and it's going to come down at the feet of Dunstan Mace. He'll drop it back to Rabley. Rabley over to Vera. Back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Dunstan Mace. Quick little triangle action. Dunstan Mace has to put it high before it gets picked off. That's a 50-50 ball. And it will be Bridgewater's 50 that wins it. Looked like it was Osselman Chai trying to go up for it for the judges, but it ends up a BSU possession. And in fact, a relatively distant BSU free kick. Matias to take it.
Yeah, Dunstan Mace had to, try to get it away from the Bears, but he, failed on that one.
Ends up putting up a tough one that the judges cannot win. O'Toole tries to put a long ball in. He's thinking a direct shot to Nelson, but rolling right out for it, is Rabley. In fact, he was trying to set up not Nelson, but perhaps Gavin Norton, who was streaking in on the left side there for Bridgewater State. Here's Osselman Chai. Rainer Osselman Chai, another Bay Stater. He's from Acton. Vera and Gonzalez. And now Gonzalez will try to set it up, a poke through. That was a good shot. And up ahead to you. Across to Osselman Chai. Vera up more. The man back, is Godino. Across, trying to set up Maur, but he ends up heading it away from the direction he's trying to send it. And as it was, he was offsides. Yes. Second offsides of the night on Roy Maurer.
Yeah, Roy Moore, he has to, be more aware of where he is on the field.
Certainly, as you mentioned, somebody with plenty of football prowess. He has a goal on the season already for the Judges. That is booted way out of bounds. Looked like Matthias got a foot on that. And it's going to give up another Judges' corner. Or will it? No, that call's going to change. First, initially, flag said corner. And our official on the side changed his mind at the last second. That's a bad call. That's a bad call. That should be a Judges' corner kick. That was just around the left side of the flag, and I believe that should be a Judges' corner kick, but they called it a goal kick for BSU. If my eyes weren't deceiving me, I believe that was to the left of that flag.
Yeah, and he even hit the flagpole, too.
So Judges seemingly robbed of a corner in the early going, but they're going to try to get it back the hard way. Interrupting is Garcia, though. Norton up ahead gives it directly to Osselman Chai. That was trouble. You trying to poke one up ahead to Maurer. You hits the deck. Whistle foul.
I'm guessing the foul will probably be charged on the Bears.
We'll have a look here, and yes, indeed, he gets absolutely bowled over by Buccio. Setting up most likely. Well, first it seemed to be a card there. At a minimum, it's going to set up another free kick for the Judges. Looked like our official was holding up a card. We'll get the word in just a second. This side angle not very advantageous for card reading. Tobias with the free kick, but he's just wide. By a hair's breadth, takes it left of the net. Take a look at that. A lot of force. Russell dove for it, fearing the worst, but it was just narrowly wide.
Yeah, just a few inches to the right. That probably would have been a goal.
Oh, I think so. No card. I stand corrected. But, of course, the foul given by Bridgewater State. Here's O'Toole. O'Toole with a boot across. That's a direction he doesn't often take, and he tries to set up Bolos, who takes it on the right. Instead, I stand corrected. Garcia pokes his way in to take what was meant for Bolos. Interrupted there by you. And a good steal by the Judges. Dunstan Mace trying to come the other way. He's double-teamed, trying to work around two Bears. Gets a little help on the left side initially from Beninda coming across, thinking header, and it just missed. Holy smokes, Tobias thought he was going to put it in this time.
Yeah.
And a couple times now. Check this thing out. Just misses him just to the right.
Yeah, Russell has been, getting, some tough luck and not allowing goals.
It's been paying off so far. Bears trying to set up a long ball with half an hour to play in the first, but it's an easy bouncer for Rabley to collect. No score here in the first half. Vera. Back to Godino. Gonzalez. Up ahead to Osselman Chai. Now Vera. Gonzalez again usually starts the setup game from the left. Dunstan Mace getting a little bit of defensive work from Bolos, and he has to drop it back to Gonzalez. Some good defense by Karsten Bolos there in the midfield. Across, long ball. That could be a little bit too long for everybody trying desperately to save it. And wow, saving it is Maddox Yu. He keeps it narrowly in bounds, but the Bears come away with it nonetheless.
Yeah, just all you need is speed, and use speed. Pay it off on that one.
It most definitely did. Matthias was trying to set up on the right side, but went a little bit too far for Bolos. Judges with the ball now deep in their own end. Gonzalez. Yu. Vera. Up across, and that one is picked up and kicked out of bounds by Matthias. A little bit of a 4D experience for some fans in the front couple of rows. A clink of the football against the fence. Judges will try to work on the right this time. Osselman Chai leaves a boot up ahead. Is it going to be too much for Wool Lewis to collect? It will be. Bears will start out now, this time deep in their own end with a throw-in. Collision deep on the other side and some sportsmanship. Looked like Mucci was involved in the collision. Couldn't get a good look at who the other was. Who the judges' representative in that scrum was. Might have been Osman Chai. Yes, indeed. The foul's going to go against Brandeis on that one, actually. It'll be Osman Chai who is at the bottom of that mix-up. O'Toole up ahead. Here's Matthias working in the left. Nelson, the two-time scorer on Saturday, trying to break in from the left. That's his happy spot, but he gets pushed out by Gonzalez. Andres Gonzalez in the right place at the right time to keep Nelson from notching another. It's a very physical game, but only a few whistles, and down and grabbing his knee, and now just getting to his feet is Garcia, and he's jogging. He should be well.
Yeah, he just tried to go through the Bears defense, but Russell was able to pick it up.
Low action at the midfield. Gonzalez was again having a look at that knee, but he's jogging. Not Gonzalez, excuse me, Garcia was looking at that knee again for the Bears, but he's up and jogging and appears no worse for wear. Bolos trying to set Nelson up on the left side. Nelson doing the dance with Will Lewis. Nelson trying to break in, set up another left one. It is just a little bit angled off. Sails in front of the net. No trouble for Rabley.
Yeah, it looks like he was also trying to set up a couple of the Bridgewater players.
Looked like Halbin might have been in the mix there as the potential header target. Header comes directly to Mallet. Boot, and that is a nutmeg. Looked like it was just barely stopped by Godino's ankles. Rabley has to fall for it nonetheless. That was some forceful action by Filippo Mucci.
Yeah, went in between the legs.
He nutmegs Godino on the shot on goal, but Rabley able to handle it with no trouble. Here's Yu. Drops it across for Will Lewis. Tobias at midfield. Working back. Here's Osman Chai. Gives it back to Tobias. Tobias trying to set it up ahead, but there was nobody to benefit. Norton able to push it back a little ways, excuse me. You had a thought, but that was interrupted. A little bit of work from Mallet. Halbin was trying to impose his force there. Deep in Judge territory, but Brandeis able to corral it back under their control more firmly. Gonzalez has to boot that one well up ahead, and rolling in from the left is Yu. He's thinking he's got a score, and Russell coming out. He lays down for it, ends up tripping up Yu in the process. No intentional foul, and I believe that may be a yellow card on Maddox Yu.
Yeah, what a stop by Russell on that play.
He had to lay himself out for it. His turn now after Rabley did the same for Mucci's shot on goal.
And it is confirmed that Yu has the yellow card.
He had a little bit too much momentum, ended up placing a bit of an unintended but late hit on Russell. Again, certainly no ill intent, but the deed was done.
Yep, 7th yellow card of the year for the judges.
They definitely play a very physical brand of football, this Brandeis side does. That was a case in point. Maddox Yu again trying to force his way in on a pickoff and strip Ethan Mallet, but he's called for a less serious foul. So it'll be a small, humble free kick for the Bears around midfield. O'Toole, boot. He's thinking set up directly from there, but it's interrupted by Judge feet. Another stoppage there. I didn't get a look if that was an offsides or what the scoop might have been. Judge is working the other way now. Gonzalez Across to Dunstan Mace. Gonzalez up ahead to Vera. Trying to poke his way through, trying to hit Beninda. But Beninda's going to get outrun. He has that one booted right back into his legs by Garcia. Here's Mallet trying to keep one away from Beninda. They all are, as a matter of fact. Buccio trying to set one up. Halbin trying to plead his case against Gonzalez. Can't get there in time. Here's Vera working his way through up ahead. Mauer has bad intentions, but he loses it. He posts it to the side, tries to collect it back in from the side. It's interrupted by Buccio. Trying to work back in is Yu. He's 2-on-1. He gets his pocket picked. What a steal on the play by Mallet. Picks off Yu. Comes right back to the judges, though. Osselman Chai. Across now to Godino. Beninda coughs it up. Halbin. Aside, that's going to be out of bounds off the Bears. Bolos couldn't get there in time to collect. And it looks like a raft of Bridgewater subs and at least one single Brandeis sub preparing to check into this match.
Yeah, it looks like Halbin's getting out.
Mauer is going to take a breather. He's going to hand the captain's armband to Sancho Morodo Tobias.
Thomas Terry is in. Ryan Healy.
Ryan Healy, the Irishman, who you'll be able to hear not so long from now, in a few weeks on some BSN broadcasts. He'll be joining us once his season is complete. A little over 21 minutes to play in the first half. No score between the Bears and the judges. Chang, Ribeiro, Healy, and Terry all in for Bridgewater State. For the judges, it's just one. Mauer gets a breather, and Elon Romo, the sophomore from Florida, is in. A couple of Floridians on this Brandeis side. Folks from all over the country. Some players from all over the world. A couple of international players on this judges' side. Norton trying to poke his way through, leave one for Matias. It's a little bit of a struggle. Judges initially get it back, but then Buccio puts it airbound. Norton, that was a good take off the floor. Healy trying to break the other way, rolling up. He's getting dogged by Vera. Healy hits the deck, whistle, foul, and Bridgewater State will get a free kick to try to open things up a little bit. Right here, a collision. Healy, the momentum sends him tumbling.
Yeah, just hit him on the shoulder and able to take him down.
Not exactly a linebacker hit by Vera, but such is the way of things. So a free kick for Bridgewater State. Looks like Norton is going to take it. And the rest we'll see if they can be the first, keyword if, they can be the first to post a goal tonight. Norton. Airborne. That had a chance, but it ends up getting headed over top. I think Jack O'Toole might have gotten his head on it, but unfortunately just posted it over the crossbar. He was at least in the mix, but that was a little bit too tall off of somebody's header. Buccio interrupts. Healy, but back over to Vera now. Vera trying to send it over, but nobody's quite there to connect. Nearest target, who was even kind of close, might have been Romo, but he was not there. It was indeed O'Toole with the header, but unfortunately just not quite able to get the spot. Buccio over to Garcia. Now Buccio again, long ball. Hit Terry there. Matias set up ahead. Trying to work his way in is Nelson. He gets into a tussle. Yeah, a little bit too much.
Yeah, he's like turning his back on the ball, which is not really what you're supposed to do in soccer.
Understandably, judge ball. It was Godino, I believe, he got into the tumble with. At the very least, that's who's taking this deep free kick. Healy immediately pokes his way in off of that one, but the judge is able to recollect. Here's Dunstan Mace. Up ahead. Tobias on the near side. Trying to work his way around Garcia. Garcia interrupts. That one gets slid out of bounds, and it's going to be a judge's throw-in. Tobias will yield instead to Dunstan Mace, who will take the throw.
Yeah, good defense by Garcia on that replay.
Beninda, 50-50 ball, headed around by Buccio. Hits the floor, whistle, foul, Bridgewater State ball yet again. And now, after some early fouls committed by BSU in the early going of this match, BSU is benefiting from judge fouls given up now. The worm is starting to turn.
Yeah, each team has 4 fouls. We also have a yellow card for Brandeis.
That yellow card, of course, belongs to Maddox U, the only booking of the night. Healy hits the deck. No whistle, but there was a foul on the play, it would seem. So play will just continue, kind of, until a free kick. Not much of one. That one's booted just to the side. Good job by Dunstan Mace, giving up only the throw-in and not a corner. That was well placed along the flag. Tall ball off the foot of Matias, doesn't really get anywhere, and the judge is trying to take it the other way. Osselman Chai up ahead and a dash for it. Buccio's going to win it, but he gets his pocket picked by Yu, but in turn, Yu gives it up to Matias. And now the Bears trying to work with some speed. Healy across the way, looks like to Terry. Hitting Nelson up front on the left. Nelson's been in the sweet spot all night. He's doing the dance with Wool Lewis. Tries to set up somebody across. Healy, and it's in! Healy bounces it off the body of Quinton Rabley, and Bridgewater State is up 1-0 with 16 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, well played by Healy. In front and then breaks the ice here at Peter Massafar Field in the first half.
Ryan Healy scores his first goal of the season to give Bridgewater State a 1-0 advantage over Brandeis.
Yeah, it looks like it was a setup from Nelson, which I believe that would count as an assist.
No, definitely. Nelson a good scorer, but now he's proving his offensive prowess in terms of helping others out as well. And Healy knows exactly where to be to cash in. 1-0 Bears with 16 to play in the first half. The last time these two sides met was in Waltham, a very beautiful town, as we were mentioning earlier. Judges won that meeting 1-0 against Bridgewater State. But now it is the Bears' turn to enjoy a 1-0 lead. Judge is trying to work really quickly now. Tobias kicks that one directly into the body of Matias, and the Bears trying to take it back the other way. Healy up ahead trying to hit Nelson, but Nelson's offsides.
It's a tough break for Nelson.
Nelson is still dribbling. I don't know what that was about, and that's going to be another whistle. Nelson's getting a little bit of a speaking to from our official on the field, but no card.
Yeah, I was saying, tough break for Nelson. Giving up the first offside of the game for the Bears.
Trying to rumble in the other way is Romo. That one's going to be out of bounds off of bare feet. Looks like it might have been Nelson in the mix there. Might also have been Terry. A couple of 20-something jerseys. It's the two of them who are double-teaming Romo. And it's out of bounds off of them again, I should say. Excuse me. This time it's a goal kick. Bears, the responsible party for putting it out the back. So Bridgewater State with a thrilling goal. This is not replay of that thrilling goal. It is instead the goal kick being given up. It was Chang, excuse me, I believe, who got in the mix there.
The assist is confirmed with David Nelson.
Assisted by number 23, David Nelson.
So Bears made a sub while I was chattering. David Nelson, the assist man, gets a breather. His replacement, Dominic Borden. They left Healy out there, though. Nelson got the start today. Healy came in as a sub, so his legs perhaps a little bit fresher. Yu trying to set up Osman Chai, who's rumbling in on the right. He gets double teamed, nearly goes to ground, but no foul. It's just a mess at midfield, and I believe that is Terry. Now rolling up here's Norton. It's going to be out of bounds. Judge's ball with about 13 and a half, give or take, to play. Whistle, foul. That makes sense. Terry got a little bit too active there.
Terry, the freshman out of South Yarmouth.
Another Cape Cod native. A couple of subs have come in for these judges. For example, just getting a touch there was Kenshin Morikawa from Osaka, Japan. Played his high school ball, however, right here in the Bay State in Lexington. 13 flat to play in the first half. Bears with a 1-0 lead off the Ryan Healy goal. Tobias up ahead to Osman Chai. Tobias gets it back. Tobias trying to set up somebody who's breaking strikingly quickly. Excuse me. That was you. Not you, the viewer, but you, YU, Maddox U, who's been in the thick of things all night for the judges. That's out of bounds. Last touched by Gonzalez for Brandeis. So Bears taking their sweet time, and Matthew Garcia is happy to kill some clock as he rumbles on over to get this ball for the throw-in. Ethan DeMello also subbed in for the Bears. He'll replace Nick Matias. 50-50 ball. It was a tough look there. Healy heading one back. Garcia batted around some more. Morikawa kicks it out of bounds. It's a couple of young units here. We've talked in previous broadcasts, at the very least this is the case for Bridgewater State. We've talked in previous broadcasts about how, you know, both soccer teams here at BSU really going through a lot of turnover, not for unnatural reasons, but just because players have graduated. And so both of these teams are really looking for their superstars. Obviously, you know, this Bears side right here has Nelson, somebody who can sort of shepherd in a new generation of Bears soccer talent. And looking at this Brandeis roster, it is a lot of young players, a number of players in their first or second year with this program, and they're certainly showing out here today. So both of these teams really getting some major contributions from players in their first couple of years with each of these programs.
And just took a look at Coach Brendan Adams and his 22nd season.
He's somebody who knows the ropes better than many, better than most. Judges will make another substitution. Yu will take a breather. And his replacement, Henning Dirks, from the city of Boston, played his high school ball at Dexter Southfield in, if my memory serves, Brookline. Boot up ahead for Borden. He got it from Terry. Borden sets it across, trying to hit Norton. Norton doing the dance on the far side, looks like with Morikawa. He's getting taken back. And a quick little pick off by the judges. Oh, sliding in for the play. What a play right there, goodness gracious. That was DeMello who came across sliding for that steal. Bears cough it back up. Carpenter Schulman kicked it up ahead. Across to Romo. He got that one from Chuang. Chuang thinks he's got an option. Kicks it in. It is just barely stopped. That was slowed down by the feet of DeMello. Another right place, right time spot. Take a look at this. Aiden Chuang nearly has a very great goal, but DeMello just happens to walk through picture and slow it down enough for Russell to get on. That was a great setup for Chuang, the New York City native, played his high school ball at Milton Academy. He had a really great goal set up, but could never have known that DeMello was just going to happen to be there.
Yeah, I believe that's the fourth time a shot has been blocked by a Bridgewater player.
Chuang came in as a substitute for Sancho Moroto Tobias, who's been very active up and down the pitch throughout this first half. Bears with a throw in here. 8:40 to play in the first half. Bridgewater with a 1-0 lead. Healy with the goal, Nelson with the assist. Terry nearly had, when he was trying to get some cut on it, that was blocked out of the way that time. I think it was Gonzalez who put his foot down on it and said no thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I stand corrected. It's going to be a Bridgewater State goal kick. So Gonzalez must not have deflected that. Or not a Bridgewater State goal kick, excuse me, a Brandeis goal kick. So that must not have been deflected by Gonzalez, else that would have been a corner. So Gonzalez just a party to Terry not being able to get quite the cut he was looking for on it. Chuang looking for revenge on that blocked goal. He's rolling in hard from the left, trying to set somebody up. This time in the way of his would-be assist was Buccio. Comes right back to the judges, though. Morikawa coughs that one right up. Rumbling the other way was Ribeiro. He couldn't get very far. Gonzalez up deep now, trying to poke his way through. That one gets booted back. I think it was O'Toole. Only makes it as far as Carpenter-Schulman. Carpenter-Schulman across to Chuang. Chuang gives it back to Liam Carpenter-Schulman, another Bay Stater. He's from Amherst. Ribeiro rolling the other way now. Carpenter-Schulman trying to get in. He slides. Now Ribeiro slides. And it's just a gosh darn mess. Healy ends up coughing it right back up to Carpenter-Schulman, and no one really knows whose possession it is. That is a bad trip. Chuang hits the deck. He is tripped by Garcia, and that will be a foul all day.
Yeah, that was more like a hit because he took a hard fall.
That's quite the roll, and I can tell you sitting here on the pitch, that was not acting. Garcia just got in the way. Wrong place, wrong time. Chuang tumbles, and it'll be a free kick for the judges. Kenshin Morikawa looks like he's setting up to take it. So Morikawa, himself a freshman. You talk about these young players on both of these sides really getting their reps, improving their worth. Morikawa, the freshman, going to take this free kick. Judges looking to level this one up before halftime with under 7 to play. Rumbling around, that one gets headed north by O'Toole, and this time he heads it tall again, but he will give up a corner kick. Rainer Osselman Chai setting up to take the corner for the judges. Here it is. That one's disputed around. Only gets as far as Morikawa, but then it's pushed back out again. Trying to roll quickly the other way is Ribeiro. He is working with a full head of steam. He is being chased down vividly by Carpenter-Schulman, but that one gets kicked back. Looks like it might have been Wool Lewis who got a piece of that and sent it back the other way. Whistle. Stoppage in play. Looks like the Bears are going to hang on to it.
Yeah, Bears defense is really showing up in this game, especially on that last corner kick.
A yellow card in the mix on Garcia for that last trip on Chuang, and that makes sense. That whistle was Brandeis was offsides. It was a very tight offsides, a very tightly called offsides, but supposedly a fair one. Chuang with a good steal there, picks off Ribeiro, but it's taken back just as quickly by Terry for the Bears. Bridgewater trying to set up from the side. It's airborne. Disrupted. Not quite cleared. That one's a lazy dribbler. Close, but no cigar. Healy thought he had number 2, but did not get quite the force he needed, and Radley was right there to corral it. Whistle. Foul. Oh, we got some extracurricular. Terry involved in it, and it looked like Morikawa was as well.
I would not be surprised.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
we're seeing a lot of whistling, and our official is putting his card to good use. He's having a word with Thomas Terry right now. That's going to be a yellow card for Thomas Terry. I'm not sure what the heck that initial signal was, but that's definitely at a minimum a yellow.
In soccer, that's to stop the time.
Okay, I got you. That's the one thing I don't know about this game is how they stop the clock. He stops the clock right there to get Morikawa and Terry to stop jawing. If there can be a victory, it belongs to Morikawa because Terry walked away with the yellow card. This game has been full of bookings so far, and we're not even at halftime. 5 minutes flat on the clock. Time is stopped. It will be judges' possession when play restarts. And I'm really not sure what the delay is here at this point.
There might be. Looks like the referee was coming from the Brandeis.
He's having a word with. He's having a word with the judges for some reason. Play has resumed. A little under 5 to go in the first half. Bears with a 1-0 lead. Awesome and Chai. Referee just has to dodge his pass back to Morikawa. That was a good jump. Holy smokes. Gonzalez pokes across to Awesome and Chai. Triple teamed. He hits the deck. No foul. Bears trying to rumble the other way. Up ahead, Terry was trying to get in there. Out of bounds. And it looks like it's going the judge's way.
Yeah, that previous yellow card was the second of the day, and that's the first time since the season opener against Johnson and Wales. They had 2 yellow cards.
Things are getting chippy early. Awesome and Chai with a lot of space initially. But now he gets his pocket picked by Buccio, hits the deck, no foul on the play, and sliding in for a steal of his own is Morikawa. He coughs it up in turn. A direct little shot to Garcia, and Garcia trying to work his way up. Gonzalez deflection. Comes down to Chuang. And Chuang corrals it back for real this time to get to Dunstan Mace. Up ahead, whistle, foul. Looked like Romo was in the mix. Looked like Ribeiro was in the mix. It's going to be against Bridgewater State. So Chuang. Now Morikawa. And neither of them, as a matter of fact. It's going to be a free kick. A humble one by Gonzalez. Coming across is Godino. Godino trying to set somebody up on the floor. Pass across. That's going to be a little bit wide. Chuang trying to capitalize. And he ends up offside. So Romo initially was trying to get something going. He was a little bit wide of the net. Chuang tries to slide in from the left to save the play, but he ends up offside.
Yep, third offside of the day for the judges. And that kills yet another chance to score against Russell.
So instead of what was shaping up to be a really slick Brandeis offensive drive, it's going to be a goal kick for Russell. On the floor is Morikawa, no foul on the play. He's right back up, no worse for wear, and nearly picks up the steal, but for Ribeiro getting in the mix, and subsequently the Bears drawing a whistle. About 2.5 to play in the first half, and boy, has this one been chippy.
Yeah, the referees having a word with Mercara. Looks like he's the one who committed the foul. It's causing the free kick.
So Garcia with the boot for the free kick. That one's up and away, and it comes right into the midst of Rabley.
Yeah, that was a good kick, but it's just right in the hands of Rabley.
He knew exactly where to be. Gonzalez across to Morikawa, does the dance with Terry. Those two were getting feisty earlier. And a whistle and a foul, this time against Terry. He already has a yellow card, picked up not that long ago in a little bit of a verbal slugfest with Morikawa. Out of bounds, and it's going to be Bridgewater State ball. Looks like Tyler Chang doing the throw-in duties for the Bears. Chang from a Cushnet, but played his high school ball in Fairhaven. That one's directly out of bounds right away. It'll stay with Bridgewater. Under 1.5 minutes to play in the first half now. Bears with a couple of substitution. Well, excuse me, one substitution each. Awesome and Chai will get a breather. His replacement, Toby Marwell from the city of New York. And for Thomas Terry, he will come out in favor of Brady McDonald. Terry been playing some physical ball. Oh, there's a little bit of a fancy footwork action. Goodness gracious me, Tyler Chang. Take a look at this. Breaks some ankles, Gives a boot, but it's just a little bit wide. Rabley need not worry about it, but the initial footwork, very slick for Chang.
Yeah, not a little bit, more like a lot.
Rabley will give it a little bit of a shot. Half a minute to play in the first half. Bears with the advantage. And trying to kill some clock before we head to the locker rooms. Chasing it down is Wool Lewis. Whoa. That's a lot of whistling, and that's an automatic yellow card on Chang. Let's have a look-see. Well, Chang rolling in here on Wool Lewis. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He gets a little bit too much momentum, but he absolutely knocks Wool Lewis over like a bowling pin, and that is yet another booking for the Bears here in the late going in the first half. So probably the last action of this half
10,
will be
9,
this free
8,
kick.
7, 6.
And with 6 seconds left in the half, the clock is stopped again.
It's moved
They're
to
gonna-
18 seconds.
You are correct. They put 18 seconds back up on the clock to account for the stoppage related to that hard foul by Chang. So Brandeis will have 18 whole seconds to work with to try to level this thing up. Bears with the 1-0 lead. And we're going. Kick is up. Clock is rolling. Disputed around. Chasing it down is Chuang. He lets it roll out of bounds. Judges with
10,
possession, though.
9, 8, 7, 6,
Just a matter of seconds.
5,
That one's kicked out,
4, 3.
and there won't be enough time to make anything of it after Garcia puts it out.
And fans, that will be the end of the first half of play from Peterman's Borough Field with a score.
One thing's for sure, there's a whole lot of chatting going down on that pitch.
Judges nil.
Bears with a 1-0 advantage, and it has not been a quiet 1-0. Bookings all around. We've seen yellow cards shown to both sides.
Yep, 3 for Bridgewater and 1 for Brandeis.
This is going to be quite the fight. We'll see how this unfolds in the second half here at Peter Mazzaferro Field at Swenson Athletic Complex on the campus of Bridgewater State University. Your halftime score, Bears with the 1-0 lead over the Brandeis Judges. More soccer coming right after halftime here on the Bears Sports Network on BTV.
Snow day. 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 Touch. Tap.
And Zach, this is really looking like a chippy second half coming up if the energy stays exactly where it is.
Yeah, it could reach the point where Bears could get 5 yellow cards, this as you said, this matchup keeps getting, chippy.
The stats don't lie. Bears with a 3-1 yellow card advantage, but they've committed just one more foul than the judges. Worth noting that we are the Bears Sports Network right here on BTV. I'm Matt Donahue.
Zach McMahon.
And this has been a really fun one to be on hand for. One half in the books. Bridgewater State with a big Ryan Healy goal, an assist from Nelson on that play. Quite a shot it was, and the Bears looking to build on that. But the judges, who come into this match with the exact same record as BSU, they are both 1-1-1, a win, a loss, and a draw. And this is still very much anybody's game.
Yeah,
Judges will start out with it for a brief glimmer in time, and here we go.
Yeah, Ryan Healy, who did not start the first half, will be starting the second half.
He has the only goal of the night by either side. That was Juan Vera pushing it to the side for Nick Dunstan Mace. All the action happening on the far side now. Here's Christian Godino across to Ethan Wool-Lewis. Wool-Lewis to Juan Vera again. Vera up top. That one gets headed out of the way. Trying to get a foot on it is Maddox Yu, who played some very physical football in the first half, and taking a fall right there is Godino. So Godino, you see the foul right here. It's a little bit tangled up. Maybe a bit of a one-handed push by Filippo Mucci there. Andres Gonzalez. I'm thinking Patriots. Andres Gonzalez, pardon me. Leaves one up for Rainer Osselman-Chai. Here's Sancho Morodo Tobias trying to get one across. Here's an opportunity that is blocked. Nico Beninda thought he had a good one, and that was just deflected right out of the way. Point blank. Norton deflects that one.
Yeah.
And the lone result, he deflects it well off, it looks like, of Tobias, and it's going to be a Bridgewater State goal kick.
Yeah, I saw a lot in the first half. The team defense was blocking a lot of shots for Russell.
We saw a couple times that happened. At one point, Aiden Chuang, the freshman from New York City, had what looked like a great goal set up directly in front of the net. And Ethan DeMello just happened to walk through frame and block it inadvertently. That would have been a very tough one. That was a weird play to give up. Tobias just kicks it out of bounds. It'll be Bridgewater State ball for some reason. I think he thought he could keep it in. This time Matthias leaves it out of bounds. So Tobias now trying to keep it inside more firmly. But he and Maurer, who is back in after subbing out in the first half, can't quite keep it there. Stays with the judges, though. Here's Wool-Lewis inside to Tobias. Tobias gets his pocket picked. It's out of bounds, though. Stays with the judges, and it's just a little bit of a war of attrition over here on the near right side. We swapped sides, of course. Bears moving right to left offensively, and obviously Brandeis vice versa. Maurer tries to put one in the air. Sliding in for it is Osselman-Chai, and he's taken a second to get up. Walking, no obvious issues. Maybe still a little tender. That was quite the slide. Gonzalez working up deep from the left. He's usually been the man out back. Gives it to Vera. Trying to cough one ahead. That was a little bit too much to collect. Looks like the man trying to be set up there was Beninda. Yeah, just a little bit of an interruption. So it's another goal kick, a humble one for William Russell, the keeper for the Bears. That one goes long distance, nothing the judges can't handle. Trying to rumble in now is Matthias. Slips through Nelson's feet. That was unfortunate, but they're able to maintain. Matthias on the left side now trying to poke his way in. Matthias pushes one across, trying to hit Healy for goal number 2, but Gonzalez, good defense. He knew exactly where to be, and Andres Gonzalez put himself in the way of what sure seemed like an attempt at an assist.
Yeah, look, that was a battle on the far side that caused a whistle. A foul on Bridgewater.
Just about 4.5 minutes gone in the half. Bears come into half number 2 with a 1-0 lead. Tobias, who got the captain's armband from Maurer back in the first half when Maurer subbed out, and he still has it. An interesting note. Healy nearly getting bulldozed by Vera and survives it and draws a foul. So Bridgewater State now taking advantage of some physical play from Brandeis and sort of coaxing them into some unfortunate fouls. Vera across to Gonzalez. He's getting chased down, and he gets outrun. Bears trying to rumble very quickly. Looked like Ribeiro was trying to get in the mix there. He is still in after subbing in the first half.
Yeah, there was no call on that collision with Mucci.
Beninda hits the floor. That was not Ribeiro. I stand corrected. That was Filippo Mucci who did get the start. Beninda hit the floor on this play. Take a look at this. Mucci looked like he might have tripped over his own feet. At absolute worst, it was an inadvertent trip by Mucci. Certainly no ill intent there, no pushes, nothing like that. But it's going to be a foul on BSU.
Yeah, Mucci doesn't exactly agree with the call.
There's a shock. So about 5 minutes gone in the second half. Mucci's actually going to take a card. He's shown a yellow for that one. And the bookings just keep on piling up for the Bears. Tobias trying to poke his way in from the right. He's doing the dance with Norton. Norton's giving him work. Tobias still possession. Now he gets double teamed. Nelson tried to get in on the action, and Norton wins the better of it. Up ahead to Mucci. Norton gets it back. Norton, crosser. Nobody really there to collect. Whistle. Play is stopped.
Yeah, I was really surprised that Mucci got the yellow card after, just a trip.
That must have been ruled out of bounds at the spot there. Looked like Norton, was towing a very tight line right there at midfield, and the ruling is out of bounds. Norton, the steal again. This time he picks off seemingly 2 men at once, both Maurer and Tobias. And the Bears trying to rumble back ahead and keep it inbounds this time. That one is out off the foot of Wool Lewis. Nelson thought about the throw-in, but said, nah, he's going to leave it for Gavin Norton. Norton, the Rockland native, a sophomore, but he sees an awful lot of playing time already with this Bridgewater side. Heave intended for Nelson. Disputed. Big airtime off the foot of Andres Gonzalez, and that's going to be out again. Gonzalez sits in the backfield for these judges. One of 3 Floridians on this Brandeis side. One of 2 Floridians who got the start tonight. All 3 have seen time on the pitch. Vera, another one of them. Up ahead. Maddox U. I see the pink cleats. That's a whistle. It's getting chippy again. Maddox U, as you can see, kind of thinking, what the heck, where's the call?
Yeah, and if the ref had the right call, it might have been another yellow card for the Bears.
This has been a very physical game going both ways, but Bridgewater State losing the cards battle. They have 4 now after Mucci was shown a yellow just a couple minutes ago. Judges trying to reset. Here's Gonzalez. Back to Vera. That main 3, Gonzalez, Vera, Godino, have sat in the backfield a lot doing some facilitation. Rolling up is Beninda on the right. He's getting quite a bit of work there. Goodness gracious, and there's a steal by Nelson. He bumps right into, he bulldozes Wool Lewis on the play. And they're going to stop the clock yet again. This is not the first time the clock has been stopped on a foul this evening. And we see a card. Was that shown to Nelson?
Yeah, that probably...
I think it may have been. It certainly looked like Nelson kind of bowled over Wool Lewis there.
It is Nelson.
Yes, indeed. So that's going to be yellow card number 5 on the night for the Bears. The crowd here at Peter Mazzaferro Field not thrilled. We have our windows open here in the booth. We can sort of take the temperature. So it's going to be a free kick for Rainer Osselman-Chai. Ags one in. That's a good ball, but it's headed just a little bit to the side. Second chance headed around. Looked like it was O'Toole. Got one there, a little bit of defense, and then finally booted out of the way. It looked like by Norton.
Yeah, part of the story for the Bears lead is the Bears' excellent defense.
It has been a full side effort for the Bears on the defensive end. Let's check this out one more time. You trying to poke it back in again, and yeah, that was O'Toole going to look at it. And this time, no, I stand corrected. It was a shot attempt by Tobias, and he just poked it way too high over the crossbar. Norton was in the vicinity, and I thought he might have tried to boot it out. That makes more sense. Vera. Up now to you. You drops it back for Godino. Godino with a boot, trying to get some cut on it, trying to hit you, and he does. But that one's deflected backwards by Mallet. Gonzalez trying to chase it down for the judges. Garcia trying to get in the mix, but he's getting kept away. Here's Vera. Poked up ahead by Will Lewis. Now over to Beninda. Across, Osselman-Chai. Osselman-Chai, straight shot. That is tucked right over.
Wow.
Goodness gracious. He gives up a corner, but my goodness, what a save by William Russell.
Yeah, Russell has the hops off a goaltender. He just got it over the top of the net.
My goodness gracious me. 4 nights from now, that would be good for 3 when Bears football is back here at Peter Mazzaferro Field. So a big save, but it does give up the corner. Osselman-Chai takes it for the judges. Only cleared as far as Beninda. That one's deflected back out. This time only cleared as far as Will Lewis. Trying to put one back in the spot, and jumping up to catch it is Russell. Well, my stars. So here's a replay of what you just saw there. Some header action by Gonzalez trying to arc it in, but Russell able to collect.
Yeah, trying to avoid goals by Godino and Maor.
It was a full team effort on the offensive end that time. That was a slick little takeaway initially by Osselman-Chai, but he hits the deck hard and takes a second getting up.
No call on the play.
Still jogging. Looks no worse for wear, but searching for a call. Here's Nelson on the other end. Trying to poke one in. That could be potentially, I stand corrected, there's Nelson trying to receive one, I believe, possibly from Mallet. Going the other way now. Here's Tobias. Keeps it in, working on Norton. Tobias. That's an interruption by Nelson, but Tobias gets it back. Good presence of mind. Will Lewis over to Osselman-Chai. Gonzalez trying to work his way through traffic. Ref just dodges it, pass to Osselman-Chai, trying to slide his way in. It's Beninda, he just misses. Another collision there between Will Lewis and Nelson. Looked like Will Lewis just had a little bit too much momentum, though ill intent, on the defensive drive. Some discussion as to what the heck's going on. It looks like it's going to be a Bridgewater State throw-in, but our side judge is having a word with Gavin Norton. Looks like some subs might be getting the opportunity to come in here. We see Healy jogging off the pitch. We see Filippo Mucci jogging off the pitch, and yes, indeed, that's exactly what it is. So Nick Ribeiro will come back into the game for Healy, and Will Halbin, who got the start tonight, will re-enter in the place of Filippo Mucci. Now action resumes, throw in from Norton. Eventually comes down to the judges. Will Lewis back over to Osselman-Chai. Godino up ahead to Vera. Vera, a true midfielder's midfielder. He's been camped there reliably all night, taking the second step. Russell looking for some space before he continues. That's a tall one. Holy smokes. And it's eventually going to come. No, Ribeiro gets his way withdrawn. Here comes Tobias now. Got that one from Vera. Trying to set one up for Vera on the right side. Vera thinking he's got a spot in. That one's a little bit too far for Mauer to capitalize on. Only cleared as far as you.
Yeah, and even Russell was trying to get out the ball, but it sailed over him. Thankfully, it did not. Thankfully, it was at an angle that there was no way it would have been a goal.
Well, it's not so thankfully if you're a Judges fan. And if we've got any watching right now, know that your side is still playing a very fantastic game. This is anybody's match right here with 31 minutes and change left. So it's going to be a throw in at midfield for Brandeis. Dunstan Mace will take it. Beninda trying to chase it down. I think that may have been a foul. Actually, might have been offside. Might have been offside. The official was in a wonky kind of spot. Couldn't tell exactly what kind of call it was, and I didn't see a raise of the flag at first glance. Foul it must be then. Here's a free kick. That explains it. A free kick for the Judges. Osman Chai takes it. He's been handling the long frees and corners. That one bounces around a little bit, misses everybody on the way in, and it comes to Russell. A little over half an hour to play in the match. Bears with a 1-0 lead. That shot was a little too long for Nelson. Norton was trying to get it ahead to him. Instead, it's Will Lewis who came away with it. Vera across to Gonzalez, and this Brandeis offense will start from scratch. Osman Chai now. Up ahead. Looks like he's trying to hit Romo. Poking in. Maor's got a foot on it, trying to spin himself right around. He's getting stuffed up by O'Toole. Has to drop it back a little bit. Here's a tall ball, and that is too tall. Off the boot of Vera.
Yeah, but at least it went through the uprights.
Whatever good that does. Under half an hour to play. Judges still looking for their first goal, but they're making some very solid chances here in the second half. Bears will have to be on their toes at all times if they hope to protect this 1-0 lead. Both teams looking for their second win of the year. They each come in 1-1-1. That's a collision. And now we've really got a little bit of extracurricular. Looked like Halbin had a word with Osman Chai. Osman Chai was looking for a call. Nothing really came of it. Ribeiro blows a tire there, and it ends up coming the way of Beninda. And the Judges will take it back. Godino. Up ahead to Gonzalez now. Judges looking for a setup. Here's Yu poking in. From the left. Yu trying to give something across, disrupted. Will Lewis. Beninda. Sider across. Mauer was thinking header goal, but he sends it wide. That was an excellent chance, but Roy Mauer just couldn't quite get the angle he wanted on the header. And once again, something close but not quite for the Judges.
Yeah, that looked like the Judges' best chance of the game, and he just, did not have the angle.
Roy Mauer, who's already scored for Brandeis this season, has been at the center of a couple of those really solid chances, but something or another has gotten in the way. Comes down eventually to Halbin. Halbin on the right side, leaves it up ahead. Given a little distance by Matthias. Too far. Goal kick for Brandeis.
It looks like there's a tripods like sitting right by the out of bounds line. It looks like it's in the field.
It's just beyond. I can see what you mean. The line is very faint over there, but it's just beyond the goal line. That's going to be out of bounds off the Bears. We do have a little bit of a swankier setup tonight here at the pitch. BTV kind enough to join us here on a Tuesday night in Bridgewater for the first meeting between these two sides since 2015. That was in Waltham. Brandeis won that one 1-0.
Yeah.
That was also 8 years ago.
Yeah, if the Bears able to keep their lead.
Tobias puts one wide. He wanted some cut, but the monkey's paw curled and he got the wrong kind of cut going the other way, and it's a wide shot for a goal kick by Bridgewater State.
Yeah, you explained it best. It's like
Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
yeah.
I certainly couldn't do any better. So Russell trying to kill some clock here. Sancho Moroto Tobias has been responsible for a couple of forceful shots on goal. The senior from Acton played his high school ball in Lexington. He too has a goal so far this year and an assist for the Judges, the only assist so far. That is some very forceful fighting between David Nelson and Ethan Wool-Lewis. Nelson last season certainly not afraid to get down and dirty. Brandeis is going to bring in a lot of substitutions. Romo, in fact, has just come in as a substitution. I stand corrected on the earlier score. He replaces Maor. Aiden Chuang, who had a great shot on goal, blocked inadvertently by DeMello in the first half. He's in for you. And Kenshin Morikawa comes in for Juan Vera. Ribeiro trying to leave one across. Here's Halbin. Halbin thinks he's got a shot. He's getting interrupted at first. Has to just leave one for Nelson on the left side. Nelson trying to do the dance with Wool-Lewis. That's something he's been doing all night. Across. That one's blocked out of the way. Good defense by Osselman Chai. Rainer Osselman Chai in the right place at the right time, and he's able to deflect.
Yeah, Nelson was trying to find a lane to, get the ball, but, no chance.
That's out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Judges. Thrown in by Wool-Lewis for Morikawa, who chases it down. Now back to Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to run it down, maybe a little bit too far. Bolos is doing the run with him. That is going to be out.
Hitting the donkey.
That's unfortunate. Gonzalez was trying to grab it, couldn't, and it's going to be BSU ball. That was right off the face of Morikawa. Ouch. He had a little bit of dental surgery, it looked like, on that play, but he's still running around and no worse for wear. Coming the other way, looks like Malik got that one in the air. That's going to rumble out. Somehow still in. Oh.
Yeah,
that is certainly something, and the crowd is baying for blood, thinking Nick Dunstan-May should be shown a yellow card for that foul.
He is.
And he has been. Wish granted. That was a very hard foul.
Yeah, it looks like he pulled at Norton.
Let's take a look-see. Oh, yeah. He tries to do the prom pose with him on the midsection.
Yeah, not Norton, but Bolos. I stand corrected.
That's going to be just the second yellow card of the night for the Judges. Bears have, 5? It's been a very, very physical night, to say the least. And it's going to give up a Bears free kick, de facto corner kick based on placement, just a little bit shorter. But in the books as a free kick.
It's just a little factoid. So the highest amount of yellow cards last season were in both games, 5 against both games against Framingham.
Framingham. That one's got a little bit of a dribbler coming out for it is Rabley. Mazcac soccer's a different beast, folks. You have no idea. Bears start their Mazcac season this upcoming Friday. They're going to be welcoming the Worcester State Lancers right here to Peter Mazzaferro Field. You can catch that one on BSN as well. Little under 24 to play in the match. Bears with a 1-0 lead off the Healy goal.
I mean, maybe the Bears fans watching are getting a preview.
It's very possible. NASCAC's going to be competitive. Bears are looking to leave their mark, and they're looking to go into it over 500 on the year with a win here. Ethan DeMello is in. He's going to replace Matias as a sub. Up, headed around. Everybody wants a card these days, don't they? And that is going to be Judge's ball. I still hear some whistling. Yeah, it's been chippy here today. Call's actually going to change. They changed it looks like, from a call of Judge's ball to Bears ball. Windmill kick, not enough. Nelson was a little bit out of bounds when he took that, and it's going to go back to Brandeis. It was a valiant effort, very athletic. Backwards windmill kick by Nelson, but unfortunately not enough to prevent the out of bounds. Here's Osman Chai doing some footwork. Whoa, he breaks Ribeiro's ankles, and play is going to continue. Up ahead, interruption. That's Romo getting in the mix of it. Bears take it back. Trying to break the other way is Halbin. He gets interrupted this time by Godino, but a whistle. Whistle's going to be against Bridgewater State. So here comes Morikawa. Across, trying to poke his way in is Norton. And he has some luck. Here's Ribeiro going the other way for the Bears. Ribeiro up ahead to Nelson. Nelson trying to set up shop from the left. Kicked out of bounds. That was who else? Wool Lewis. It's been the two of them just going at it all night. The way that partnership has gone from time to time, I'm a little surprised there's only one yellow card between them, and it belongs to Nelson. Bears throw in. Norton's going to take it. Nelson trying to work on Wool Lewis. Double teamed now. Trying to break his way around Wool Lewis and Chuang. Nelson gets the better of it again. And Wool Lewis is going to give him some distance. Norton again with the throw in. 21-21 to play in the match. Bears with the 1-0 lead. Norton the throw in to Nelson. That's out of bounds. Uh-oh. Oh, off of the Judges. That looked like it was close. I thought it might have come off of Nelson to cough up. It must have. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a judge. Let's get a closer look at it. It is a goal kick. In the moment, I wasn't sure. Looked like it was a little tight, possibly between Wool Lewis and Nelson. It's going to be off of Nelson.
It looks to me it was between Nelson's legs, though, and it hit.
Yeah, Wool Lewis was trying to get in there, but it was Nelson and Nelson alone, and he gave up the goal kick. Bears trying to run the other way now. Working with a full head of steam, trying to set up. There is a good piece of defense sliding right in. Wool Lewis, case in point. Ethan Wool Lewis, the junior from Maryland, slid his way in. Let's catch a look at that drive again. Bolos was thinking assist. Across. Check this out. That's presence of mind. Ends up giving up a corner, though, to the Bears.
Yeah, just, great defense by Wool Lewis on that play. That is going to give up a corner kick.
Nick Ribeiro, the freshman from Bellingham, but played his high school ball in Milford. Taking the corner for Bridgewater. Up. Decent placement, but doesn't quite hit anybody on try number one. Trying to chase it down is Thomas Terry. Dominic Borden. That's a 28, not a 26. Borden ends up giving it the boot out of bounds for another Judge's goal kick.
Yeah, he was just subbed in for Helbin.
And Tyler Chang as well subbed in for the Bears. He'll replace Karsten Bolos.
Who's trying to set up on that assist.
Yes, he was, and he was breaking with a full head of steam. And let me tell you, that man was so wet with sweat, he looked like he had just taken a dip in the Atlantic Ocean. 19 minutes to play in the match. Bears with the 1-0 lead, but Judges have had a number of good chances to break that down to a tie, and they very well still could. We'll see how it goes. They'll make a couple substitutions of their own. Osman Chai and Tobias are both going to get breathers. Their replacements, Vera and Henning Dirks, respectively. Judges trying to set up shop a little bit more firmly. Here's a good chance getting in the mix. A couple of gloves. Looks like Beninda wanted a piece. That's going to go a little bit wide. And giving it the boot backwards is Norton. Good defense, but he only clears as far as Wool Lewis.
Yeah, that was good defense by Jack O'Toole on one of those shot attempts.
O'Toole's had his hand in a couple defensive plays tonight for the Bears. There's a rumble the other way. Nobody's really quite going to get to it in time. That looked like a goal kick, yes indeed. Trying to slide in there and make a play was Beninda, but he couldn't quite get the angle he wanted. Let's have a look-see here. Yeah, just a little bit too far for Beninda to capitalize on. That was Romo, I believe, trying to set up. But Nico Beninda, the New Jersey native, just couldn't quite get there in time. 17.5 to go in the match. .50-50 ball, but a whistle and play is going to go the other way. It's a Bears possession. Some manner of foul on Brandeis. So a free kick deep in their own end for Bridgewater State. O'Toole will take it, and with him, you never know if he's going to go distance or just regular. He's thinking distance. I'm not sure who to. It ends up just coming right the way of Nick Dunstan-Mace.
Looks like he was trying to kick in the direction of Borden.
Romo was trying to take it up the far side, but got interrupted. He'll get it back on the throw-in. It's getting steamy out there tonight, no doubt about it. These two sides have been doing some tough business all evening. Nelson frustrated he can't get any forward progress. He's going to get a throw-in, and he's going to leave it. Still inbounds tightly and just barely going to roll out. Gonzalez was trying to make it wait, and it worked. Check this out real quick. You see how tight that was. Gonzalez strapping up well on Dominic Borden. Gets the stop he's looking for, but the Bears still threatening. Norton trying to poke one across off the head of DeMello. Bears trying to send it back the other way. Vera had other ideas. He sends it back forward. Romo trying to get in the mix there. Bears playing good defense, however. DeMello hits the deck. Whistle, foul, and he is rolling. And now he's sitting upright. Let's take a look-see. A little bit of a battle with Henning Dirks, the Bostonian. And some good sportsmanship there. Just off camera, we saw Dirks come over and help up DeMello, so some good sportsmanship there, no ill intent. End result, however, is going to be another Bridgewater State free kick, and this is something that the Bears have been picking up lots of as they've drawn some cheaper, more ticky-tack Brandeis fouls, nothing that really rises to yellow card level. But they have been able to capitalize on that. Buccio puts one in, trying to set up something good. It's a little bit wide. DeMello tried to save it, but not quite. Looked like it was Tyler Chang who was trying to place one in on a header, but just couldn't quite get the angle he wanted. Vera. Sliding up ahead. Now here's Nelson, a pickoff deep in Judge territory. Nelson trying to be the setup man. Nobody there. He gets tripped. He falls over. It's going to be a whistle and a foul. Check this out here. This time he collides with Juan Vera. So it's another BSU free kick. Which is a phrase I feel like I've said an awful lot this evening. Norton going to take it. Actually, Norton just kind of standing there with Ribeiro. We'll see who takes it. Norton wasn't fooling. He takes it. Arc in. That's a good angle, but it's headed out of the way. Still disputed. Rolling in. And now cleared. That was a good header on defense by Christian Godino to prevent the unthinkable.
Yeah, that was a good chance for Bear to get their second goal, but once again, good defense by the judges.
Bears slip one right off of Borden on the play there. He was deep in Judge territory, but no thank you. And here comes Aiden Chuang. Gets his pocket picked this time by Norton, but Norton takes it out of bounds. They're going to credit a save to Quinton Rabley on a second chance header attempt by Nelson in the middle of all that scrum. So Rabley picks up another save. Ribeiro trying to drop one off. That's a tall ball. Only guy in the area is Borden. He's trying to do the dance with Godino. Godino trying to get a little bit of stability, and he does. Gets it over to Will Lewis. Borden still chasing down. Sliding in, trying to grab it was DeMello, but he couldn't quite get there. And it will rumble out of bounds and stay with the judges. Now we're seeing some action with 13 minutes left in the match.
Yeah, this is judges' last chance to get either a tie or, and then after that, maybe a lead. But time is running out.
Vera trying to poke his way in from the left. That was kicked out of the way by Mallet. Going to give up a throw into the judges. Here's a replay there of Vera getting the touch back.
After some contact with Garcia.
Looked like he might have got that back from Henning Dirks. So judges opting to start in a little bit deeper, try to set something up with a bit more stability. That's a deflection. Wowza, holy smokes, getting right in the middle of it was Garcia.
Yeah, saw some chippiness once again.
Up, headed around, O'Toole heads it out of the way, but not terribly far. Trying to poke it back in is Vera. Rumbling around, trying to slide his way in. Forward is Romo. Romo wonders why there is no call at all. And now we're going to see a little bit of whistling. And the final result, based on our lie, is yet another Brandeis corner kick. A couple substitutions come in for both teams. Dirks is actually out. Tobias came in for him. Beninda gets a breather. Maddox Yu came in for him. Whistle and a stoppage, and that gives me time to finish my substitutions. Aiden Shuang gets a breather. Osselman Chai is back in for him. And for the Bears, one substitution. Matthias in. Ribeiro out. Nicholas for Nicholas. Osselman Chai is going to take this corner here for the judges. 11 and a half minutes to play. Osselman Chai puts it up. Batted around. Out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. It was last touched. Oh, are they going to change the call? They have changed the call. The initial call on the field was a goal kick, and they have now changed it last second to yet another Brandeis corner. It's going to be Osselman Chai, setting up again. 11 minutes flat to play. Osselman Chai arcs one in, had it out of the way, and Bears able to clear very definitively. A good header on defense by Matthias. Matthias with a boot. That one is deflected loudly off of Tobias. Rumbling in for it is Borden. Borden's trying to get some distance. Borden's trying to work his way in from the left. Dominic Borden, a little rumbler, and it comes right back over to Rabley. Dominic Borden had a good chance there, but just couldn't quite get the velocity he wanted.
Yeah, he was...
Check this out again. He's trying to put the arc on around Dunstan Mason. He does, but Rabley's in the right place to collect.
Yeah, and Quinton... only 4 saves for Rabley, but it doesn't really match his production.
Some of them have been dramatic saves, truly. He's coughed up just the one goal tonight to Ryan Healy off an assist by David Nelson. It was a really pretty one, too. Slipping right in his mallet. Holy smokes, he read that one like a book. Man down on the field. It's Osselman Chai, and he is down to stay for a little bit right now. Play has not been stopped. Now let's doing a little bit of dancing there. And Rainer Osselman Chai is very slow to get up. Having a word with his compatriot Elon Romo. Shot right there of the senior from Maryland, Nick Dunstan Mace. As several teammates gather around Rainer Osselman Chai, hopefully nothing too serious.
Yeah, Osselman
present as well as Nicholas Matthias, but not as an antagonistic presence. We're going to see how this goes. Osselman Chai awake and moving, but something's up with that leg. He is still down. That's Beninda on the side watching. along with.
He has gone up.
Yeah, he's up. We'll see how well this continues. Hopefully all well. There's a quick little friendly handshake with Matthias. And that's the thing. That's one thing that really sticks out to me. For all the chippiness we've seen out here tonight, for all the very physical play, there is great sportsmanship here. There is tremendous respect between these two sides here tonight. Even in the most antagonistic of moments between the two, there has been a lot of respect mutually. And that's something that I think is very important for this game. Borden with a tall one trying to set up Norton, but getting in the way is Wool Lewis. Good read. Wool Lewis sends it back the opposite.
Something he's been doing all game.
Put in the sky by Morikawa. 50-50 ball comes down to Borden. Borden again trying to set up Norton from the left side. His turn now. Across, trying to work his way in. That was just a little bit too tall, and we've seen so many of those. Now it was David Nelson trying to put one in, but it was just over the cross. Well, not even just over the crossbar. I mean, let's be real. That was skyscraper tall. But another one of those chances where everything looks great right up until the moment of impact, and then it's off. Take a look at this. Yeah, definitely too tall. That's not in dispute, but another one of those great setups that doesn't quite pay off, and we've seen that going both ways today.
Yeah, and Dunstan Mace, it did help with that too, so you could credit him with good defense.
DeMello's going to get a break. Healy is back in for him. Healy has scored in this game off an assist by Nelson, we've mentioned, in case you're new to this broadcast, and that is the only goal of the game so far either way. Throw in eventually. We've got a little bit of a dispute. Norton didn't agree with the call. It's going to stay with the judges. Here's Osselman Chai, who was down for a while. Thankfully back up on his feet and about to take this free kick.
Yep, the reigning...
Certainly the reigning free kick taker of the night for the judges. He puts that one up. That is headed wide. Looked like O'Toole got his cranium on it to force a corner kick.
Yeah, as I was saying, the reigning University Athletic Association Rookie of the Year.
Very strong player in that conference. You can see the corner kick numbers. They don't lie. Beninda, by the way, substituting in for Brandeis. Morikawa is who he will replace. This one batted around a little bit, not quite all the way clear. Comes back to Dunstan Mace. Dunstan Mace, a long ball, trying to set somebody up. And he is thinking, wow, what a save by Russell. That was a great header by Sancho Moroto Tobias. It really was. And Russell just rumbles right in with a stupendous save on his knees. Take a look at this. This is one of the greatest headers you will see all night. And Russell just absolutely on top of it like paint on a wall.
Yeah,
wow.
Russell has been proven himself to be one of the great Bears goalkeepers. My bad.
What a stunner. Tobias, truly, that was a great shot, but what a save. Wow. I love this game, man. I really do. This one's a little bit of a lazier bouncer, trying to keep it in with a backwards kick. That was really slick by you. Disputed around once on the floor, though. A little tall one, and this time it's Buccio going to clear it out a little bit further, only as far as Godino. Godino again at midfield. Getting dogged by Borden. He has to send it up ahead to Maddox Yu. A little bit of a collision there. No call on the play. Coming the other way is Norton. He hits the deck. No whistle on the play. Still working with it is Tyler Chang. Chang drops it back, and now there's a whistle on the play. And there is the foul for which Bridgewater State was hoping. It's a very late whistle, but it benefits Gavin Norton nonetheless. Time is going to stop here, actually. With 5:47 to play in the match, Bears with the 1-0 lead. And they're going to get a free kick almost exactly at midfield.
Yeah, and this keeps up. William Russell will have his first shutout of the season. He had 5 last season.
If this result holds, and the judges are sure hoping it doesn't, they've got about 5.5 minutes to work with. Good catch right out of the air on the free kick by Rabley.
And if that happens, that could be the second tie-up for both teams.
Healy sending it backwards at midfield. Nobody but judges there to collect. It's ultimately going to be Rabley. Gonzalez, he's been out there all night. He's a workhorse in the backfield for these judges. Slip up ahead. Romo, he tumbles. Whistle. Foul. It looks like it's going to be against Bridgewater State. Probably should be. We'll take another look at this here. Romo doing the dance first with Healy. But it is not Healy who gets in the way. It is, in fact, Garcia. And you see right there, he reaches his leg out. And that's the issue. So the Bears cough up another judge's corner kick. And getting a breather right there is Garcia. He's going to head out. Did he just get... Well, goodness gracious. We stand correct... Oh, we stand corrected. That was another yellow card. They've been flying all night. Didn't see it super clearly. It was not exactly broadcast on a neon sign for us by this official. But that was red. That was yellow card number 2 for Garcia, and his night is over.
Yeah.
So the Bears are going to be playing with 10 men from here on out, trying to defend their 1-0 lead for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did see a yellow card on the referee's hand.
Well, there you. I'm glad you caught that because I didn't. Thank you, Zach. Bears are going to try to hold on to this lead for 5 minutes with just 10 on the field. And the judges perhaps smell blood now. Clock re-upped to 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Osselman Chai with the free kick. Judges think they really see a chance now. Osselman Chai trying to find his read. Now he's going to go for it. Delivers one in. That one's headed about. Disputed. Arced back up. It's not quite clear. Trying to drop one in, and it is in. What a setup off the head of Godino. He ends up dropping one over to the head of Tobias. And yes, indeed, the judges, with just under 5 to play, have leveled this match at 1 each. A little bit of head-to-head action, some might say.
Yeah, talking about taking the man advantage.
And they most definitely did.
Shortly after that red card.
Get a look at this. Off the head of Godino, and Sancho Morodo Tobias finishes it. The score he's been looking for all night. Bears 1, Judges 1. What a great play by Brandeis, to be frank. Bears trying to recover something in the 4 minutes and 55 seconds that remain. Again, playing with just 10 men. Garcia shown his second yellow and shown the door, and Bridgewater State undermanned, for the rest of the night. That's going to be the second score of the year for Tobias. And what a great score it was. Four and a half to play. Whistle stops play again just as it comes to Walt Lewis. He's thinking, what the heck? He'll throw it in instead to Tobias. Yu puts it up. Headed out of the way by O'Toole. Not quite cleared. Judges are trying to keep it pressured. Mallet goes down there with Romo. Going down there again, and now it's getting really physical. That was Halbin who hit the deck now. And now, taking a second to get back up is Romo. He is limping. That left leg looks like it's not quite right, but he's jogging back over to the scrum anyway for another Brandeis free kick, again taken by Osselman Chai.
Yeah, just take a look at the scoreboard.
Osselman Chai, a boot. Let's see where this goes. Just headed out of the way by O'Toole. That was a lucky spot. Rumbling down, no foul. Yu picks it right back up after he hits the deck. Manages to get one a bit wide. Russell ends up coming over to collect. You were saying, Zach?
Yeah, just recently shown on the scoreboard. Talk about the physicality of the game. Bears have 19 fouls, Brandeis 12.
This has been an absolute slugfest. Sometimes you wonder if you're watching, soccer or UFC out here. Mallet tries to drop one up ahead, rolling the other way. Here's Tyler Chang trying to poke one up. Couldn't quite get it there. Nearest was Halbin, but it's actually going to be out off of the judges. So a good read, in fact, by the Bears. They read the deflection well. And taking a second to tie his cleat is Chang. Halbin came in as a substitution. He replaces Dominic Borden. Bears wondering what the heck went wrong. They are now leveled at 1 apiece with the judges after losing a man. That one's got airtime off the foot of Halbin. Gonzalez able to get it out of the way, and the judges trying to poke back the other way, only get it as far as Healy. Halbin. Arc around now, almost a good setup, but good read by Godino getting on top of it and sending it back. Yu pokes it up ahead. Buccio with the collect. Romo. Romo now trying to work in the middle. Romo getting double teamed. He hits the deck, no foul. Halbin boots it back. Somewhere in the middle of all this, Juan Vera for Brandeis is shown a yellow card. Vera indeed trying to arc one in, and that is too much gas. Didn't quite get the cut on it he wanted, and it just sails in front of the net. And there is the recently yellow carded man Juan Vera with a shot that is just a smidge wide. Yu up ahead to Romo. Romo trying to work through a triple team, gets it to Russell. Russell a save, he had to dive for it and lay out. Bears end up giving up the corner kick just to survive. Take a look at this. Maddox Yu sets up Elon Romo. Romo with a dart, and Russell lays out FIFA World Cup style to keep that one out. Bears end up coughing up the corner, though.
That might be the save of the game.
Judges trying to make it 2-1. Windmill kick backwards by Dunstan Mace. Judges trying to reset with a little bit more speed. Rolling up quickly. There's Vera. Pocket picked. Nobody going the other way. Trying to run that thing down with a head full of steam. Oh, he falls! Rapley falls initially, and they're going to make it in! Capitalizing on the disruption is Matias. He comes in after the interruption, and the Bears have taken the lead yet again. It's 2-1 Bridgewater State.
That's probably going to win the game for the Bears. Even though there's a minute left, but that
Right
could
here.
have done it.
Right here. Wow. David Nelson. Rapley hits the deck. David Nelson with a feed across. He picks up his second assist of the night, and it's going to be to Nicholas Matias. And Bridgewater State with a minute and 11 seconds left in the match after giving up a demoralizing and brilliant goal to Sancho Morodo Tobias. They take it right back. Bears 2, Judges 1. What a heart stopper.
Yeah,
Nick Matias with his first of the season. Wow.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest goals I've ever seen on a broadcast like this.
What a special moment. Judges trying to figure out what went wrong this time. Bears with an undermanned goal. And Brandeis with just a minute and change to claw it back. Crowd getting loud now. They're feeling the energy. Down, whistle, foul. It was Healy who took the fall. Osselman Chai called for the foul. Oh my goodness, they've taken that goal off.
What?
They're going to say Matias was offsides. That seemingly great goal that Nelson set up for Matias is ruled an offsides, and we remain drawn up at 1 with under a minute to play. That explains why the crowd was so loud. That goal has been stripped. No goal on that last play. Seemed like Matias had a great setup from Nelson, but they've taken it back as an offside. Wow. So we remain drawn up at 1 between the Judges and the Bears. Both trying to find something, anything in the final seconds of this match. If this result holds, Beninda trying to poke in on the left. That's a little bit of a tall one right into the gloves of Russell.
4, 3.
What a stunner. What a stunner. Bears thought they had a last-second lead-taking goal. And that emotional boot by David Nelson just about sums it up. Bears thought they had an undermanned goal. And so we're going to try to get a picture of this. Your final score here, a draw, 1 each between the Judges and the Bears. And we're going to try to get one more look for you. Here it is. So Nelson coming in. Looks like it's going to be easy for Rapley. He blows a tire on what should be an easy kick. Nelson tries to poke his way in. Sends it up ahead to Matias, and Matias just slips right past for the score. Or so it seems at first, but that goal right there was taken back. What an absolutely astonishing result after a game that was full of twists and turns and yellow cards. This was a lot of fun to watch, but what a jaw dropper, only for the jaws to hit the floor even further, if that's even possible. Your final score after the dust settles, Judges 1, Bears 1, and both of these teams moved to 1-1-2 on the year. Wow. What an absolute barn burner here at Peter Mazzaferro Field tonight.
Yeah, what a game. It's probably for it to be featured on BTV.
You certainly picked a good one to tune in, folks. Again, your final score after a lot of twists and turns, it's your Bears 1 and the Brandeis University Judges 1. Thanks so much for joining us for a thrilling edition of the Bears Sports Network here on BTV. I'm Matt Donahue.
I'm Zach McMahon.
We'll see you next time around here on BSN. And remember that every day is a great day to be a Bear. Take care of yourselves, folks.